How is it going, guys? We've got a special one for you today. We're gonna be test fitting a part that hasn't been released yet, so I'm giving you guys a sneak peek. This was something that was really popular on the previous gen, and I think it's gonna be popular on the second gen as well, and that is an aftermarket fourth brake light. Now, this is the stock unit off of the car. It's very similar to the first gen. It's not actually a fourth brake light at all. It's just got the reverse lights on the sides, and then the middle portion here is just a reflector. Some people drill out the hole on the bottom and put a light in here and turn it into a fourth brake light, but we're gonna be completely replacing this with this aftermarket unit. I love this blacked out look. It's a gloss black base. We've got the red bar accents and then a clear lens. Obviously, there's gonna be different lens options and colorways, but I think this is gonna look really good on the red GR86. I haven't actually seen this on and functioning yet, so I'm excited to see all the different functionality. I'm sure there's gonna be the reverse, brake light, maybe an F1 option. It'd be cool if there was a sequential turn signal. I don't think this actually has that, but like I said, I haven't seen it all wired up yet, so we're gonna get this on the car and I'll go through the functions with you guys. To take the stock unit out, we're gonna remove these 3 pop clips on the bottom of the bumper. Then you'll want to pull this cover off. Just start on the bottom and work your way around. That's gonna expose 2 10mm bolts that are holding this in place. Go ahead and remove those. Once those are removed, we can slide the light out, and then there's gonna be a connection over on the driver's side that you'll need to disconnect. We'll take the new light and plug in the reverse light connector. And then we need to feed the rest of the wiring through that same hole. We've got a switch here, and then some other leads. Figure out what those do later. Okay, the light should slide right into place, just like the OEM one. If I can get these aligned. There we go. And then we'll use the OEM hardware to lock it down into place. Now we'll pop the cover back on, and this is where you may notice something a little bit weird. So the design of this light is covered a little bit by the OEM trim piece. I think it was kind of a oversight on their part when they designed this light, because they just took the OEM assembly and probably designed or made a design based off of that OEM assembly without taking into account that this cover actually covers portions of the OEM light. So I believe what they're gonna do is come out with their very own cover that's a rectangle that's not going to cover up any portion of the light. But for now, we're just gonna stick with the OEM trim piece, and we'll see how it looks with a little bit of the light covered. We're gonna use the driver's side tail light to wire this up since it's the closest. We'll take this trim piece off. I'm just gonna reach into the gap on the bottom here and pry away from the car. Should just pop right off. And there's gonna be 3 10mm screws that we need to remove, 2 underneath the cover we just removed, and then 1 on the very top. With those screws removed, you're gonna wanna grasp the tail light on top like this, and we're gonna wiggle it kind of back and forth until we can pull it straight back away from the car like that. And then there's obviously going to be a connector on the back that we'll need to disconnect. Now we're good to get everything wired up. So I've got a quick connect harness here that's going to make this really easy. We're going to route the leads down through the bumper first. And once that's down there, these connectors are gonna plug into the OEM connectors, like so. Put this down here. And then this one just plugs right into the tail light, and then we can get it reinstalled. Super easy there. Tail light goes right back in its spot, and then we'll get everything buttoned back up. We've got the wires underneath the car. We've got the red and orange, which is hooked up to the switch here, which I'm assuming controls maybe an F1 blinking function. So we don't need to connect that to anything. You can route this inside the trunk and away from the elements to keep it protected. And then we've got a red and green wire. Again, I don't know the functionalities of these wires, so we're just gonna have to test it out and see what is what. I'm assuming the red is the brake light and then green is the running light. I don't know which is which on the quick connect either, so we're just gonna go with red to red because that seems to make sense. And then we'll go with the pink to green and test it out to see if that's right or wrong. All right, I've got the wires tucked away because I'm sort of confident. I mean, come on, red to red kind of makes sense, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. We're gonna turn on the lights, and I'm assuming these red accent bars are the daytime running lights. So if I turn on the lights and those come on, it should be wired up correctly. All right. Let's check out the other functions. All right, I'm gonna hop in the car. I don't know whether or not the brake light switch is turned to on or not for the F1 function, so I can't obviously see the brake light right now, but you guys can. So here's the lights again. So that's the daytime running light, is those bars. And then this is the brake. It's either going to be flashing or solid, or I think it flashes and then goes solid. I'm not sure, you guys tell me. I can't see it. Let's turn the reverse on here. So the reverse light should be the four corners. My goodness, that chime. Oh, I've got my radio on. Should be those four corners. And I think that's all the functions. I'll go through again. Here is the running lights, the brake, and the reverse all at once. Hopefully it looks good. So after watching the video, obviously the F1 function was on, so let's go ahead and turn that off. And I'll run through the brake function again for you guys, just to show you the difference. So here's the brake. With it off, should just be solid, no more flashing. Turn the running light on, close my door. And it's as easy as that to turn it on and off. Now, I've got a couple other things I need to do to the car. As you guys can see, I don't have any license plates on here. I've been actually driving around with the temp tag from the previous owner that expired 2 months ago. Probably shouldn't be doing that. So we're gonna get some plates on here. Now, most people just take some self-tapping screws and install the plate on here. I'm gonna actually drill out these holes and install some rubber expansion nuts just to make it a little bit cleaner, and then we'll go with a relocation kit up front. The spots where we need to drill are already marked from the factory, but there are 2 sets of markings that we need to pay attention to. We want to use the ones on the inside here for the USDM plates. I'm just going to be drilling the top 2 holes and leaving the bottom ones as is. I'm trying to feed the expansion nut through the back because I drilled these holes a little bit small. I didn't want to make them too big. Got the driver's side, so last one over here, and then we can install the rear plate and move to the front. Give you guys a close up here. These are the rubber expansion nuts. Look a lot better than the screws that dealers usually use, so if I end up taking the plate off for pictures or whatever reason, this looks a whole lot better. For the front, like I said, I'm gonna run a license plate relocation kit. So the tow hook cover here we'll remove. Just take a plastic pry tool. There's a slot right in this section that will stick that in there, and then we're gonna pry the painted piece off first. And then we can pop the grill portion of the cover off. It's 2 pieces. And now we'll just squeeze the retaining tabs to fully remove these. Now we can install the stem for the Grimspeed license plate relocation kit. That just threads into the tow hook location. Now you can put the covers back, but you do need to modify them and cut them so that there's a hole. Some people were asking if you could just put the small painted portion back. It does interfere with the stem of the relocation kit, so unless you modify it, you aren't able to put it back. Now we can thread on the mounting bracket with the spacers behind it. We'll get that tightened. Not all the way. Do need to be able to adjust it. Now we can mount the license plate backing plate to the desired location. And once we have everything where we want it, we can tighten things down. Obviously make sure this isn't rubbing on your paint or anything like that. Got the relocation kit on there. Got it pretty much level with the edge of the bumper here and then angled to match the bumper here. But I'm not sure, guys. Not completely sold on how it looks. Didn't bother me on the FRS when I had it on there, but it definitely looks a little bit out of place on this car, but it is a necessary evil. Every time I don't run a front plate or I run tint or something like that, I end up getting expensive tickets, so I'll probably end up running this for a little while, just so I don't have to pay tickets, but I'm kind of leaning towards taking this off and just not running a plate as well. What do you guys think?
And that is gonna do it for today, guys. We've got the 4th brake light on there. That's probably actually not gonna stay on the car because it's a prototype, but we'll leave it on there for a little bit and test it out. I'm sure there's gonna be other options available as well that we'll test out. We do have the license plate mounting locations all set up to go, so I don't have to worry about the state patrol hassling me when I'm out driving around doing exhaust videos for you guys. But yeah, let me know what you guys think on the light. If you're enjoying the GR86 and FRS content, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.